So I got AI to spy on my customers. I got AI to predict where people are looking when they're looking at my website, where they're clicking, how far they're scrolling, and how they're even moving the cursor on the website. Then I got AI to pretend and role play my customer and tell me what it thinks about my website. So all this data and insights help me identify what is wrong in the website, what is not clear, where the buttons are placed where they shouldn't be, or if there's something else I need to change to make sure any website visitor is having the best possible experience so I can get more customers. So first I use this website called vast.3m.com. There is a free plan, so you just have to sign up for the account to use it. And if you get a pop-up to upgrade, just click somewhere so you can use the free version where you have like 3 credits, so you can try it 3 different times. So when you start with a new project, just take a screenshot of your website and just add it to this tool. Give it a few seconds, and then you can select what you're trying to analyze. Is it a packaging? Is it a print? Is it a web page? In my case, it was a web page. You can pick the right asset and then just move ahead with the next step. So now AI is going to do all the work. The first option we have is to select an area of interest. So AI is going to predict what is the probability that people are actually going to see that part on the website when they visit the website on the very first glance. For our app in this case, if we do want to do get started for free or the login button, because that's the action we want people to take, that's the area of interest I'm marking in this case. So here for the login button on the top, we're getting 43% chance that somebody is going to actually look at that button for the first glance when they visit the website. So it tells me if I want to improve that, maybe I can work with colors or something else, so I can try to fix that. But I don't have any comparison right now because 43%, I'm not sure if it's good or bad. So I can try to do this with some of my competitors' website and see how well it works for them as well. But I'm going to leave that for a different video. In this video, I just want to show you how the tool works. Now on the top, you're going to see different analysis this website is going to do for you. So we just looked at area of interest. The next thing is heat map. So when you click on heat map, it's going to show you which areas people are going to glance at in a nutshell. Red just means higher the percentage. The only tool that make you ChatGPT expert has like the most red part, which is good because that's kind of what I want people to also see. Like if this is my main message of the website, it is being clear and like the prediction is that most people are actually looking at it. So that's a good thing. But overall, you can see like the darker the area, the red it is. It just means that that's where the attention is going. And then the bluer the area, that's where the attention is not going. So in your website, if you think the important parts are not getting the attention, you may want to work with a designer or try to see if something needs to change. This is just an AI generated data, so don't trust it completely, but I do believe it is pretty good because it's kind of using a lot of those design principles and then human psychology, how people perceive any website. And then if you go to the next tab, which is a hotspot. So hotspot tells you like the area of the website where people are going to glance in the first 3 to 5 seconds. We all know that attention spans are really short right now. You want to make sure that your attention spans are getting to the right areas of your website. There's a good chance that the heat maps and hotspots are kind of going to coincide just because how like the data is being processed, but it's still good to check that if there's no discrepancy between the 2 areas. And then we can see like here in this view, we're also getting our area of interest alongside as well. So we're getting like 92% on their call to action here, 43% on the login button over there. And if you move on to the gaze sequence, this is going to tell you what's like the prediction of where and how people are going to like view the content of your website, which also aligns with the data we just saw earlier. So we're likely is that somebody's going to see the main header of the website first, then they're going to see the logo, then they're going to go over to the video, and then they're going to look at my call to action buttons. It's a good data to see like how people see your website to make sure that your website is going to communicate what you want people to see right up front, and then you're not getting the irrelevant data in the first glance. In my case, maybe I don't want people to see a logo right away or the video. There is something I can do here to fix the website. Well, let me show you something really cool. Now we're going to actually look at some real customer data and see how people interact with our website. Some people find this super cool. Some people find this kind of creepy, but it is a common use tools across all websites, and it is all GDPR compliant. Everything is anonymous. So if you do use this on your website, there shouldn't be any problems there at all. And the tool we're using is from Microsoft. It's a completely free tool. It's called Microsoft Clarity. I have this installed on my website. So basically I had to add a snippet of my code, like a tracking code on my website builder, so I can start collecting all the data. Basically, if I go to the project, I'm going to go into the heat maps. This is showing me where people are clicking. In the first part of the video, we just saw how people are likely going to view the content, but that was just mostly prediction. Here we're looking at how people are actually using the website after the widget was enabled. So here we're looking at all the data for the past 2 days where people are clicking. So we can see like, the number of clicks a certain button is getting, and like, the darker regions are where more clicks are happening and the lighter regions are where fewer clicks are happening. And then if you go to summarize heat maps, because you might be new or you don't want to spend too much time looking at the data, if you just click on summarize heat maps, now AI is actually going to summarize the results from the heat map and tell you what's working well on the website and what's not working well on the website. So that way you can like leverage those insights and like make changes as desired. So yeah, this is how Clarity works. Some other things you can look at here is scroll depth. So you can actually see how how far the people are scrolling on your website, if people are actually even seeing what you want them to see on your website, if there's like testimonials or whatnot you really want them to see. A next super really cool feature is called recordings. This is where a lot of people get creeped out. So basically what this tool does is that it's going to record all the user sessions. Anytime somebody's on your website, it's going to tracking where the people are moving their mouse, where they're clicking, what pages they're visiting. Of course, anytime somebody's entering any data, that's all blocked. You don't have to worry about like data leak or anything, but you do get a lot of insights on how people are using your website. So you can see like, if somebody's looking at the demo or like somebody reads the testimonials, like do they exit the page? Do they go on to like, next services? They go to the next page. And just like heat maps, you can just click on the summarize recording buttons. So instead of you watching all the recordings, you can either handpick a few selected recordings, or you can just ask AI to pick the last 10 recordings and give you the summary of how people are using the website. And then this works across all devices. So it's just not the web. You can filter the results by mobile, for a tablet, or for like a desktop, of course. So that's how I get to spy on my customers. This has helped me like, improve my conversion rate and get more customers. Our design when we first launched was horrible. And then we were able to learn that just because of this tool, we were able to understand that people were dropping off at a certain stage and what we need to do to fix that. And by the way, if you want to know how to install or like use Clarity to get customer data, I have a complete tutorial on that one. Now we're going to make AI role play our customer and tell us what it thinks about the website. So for this, we're going to use this quite a niche tool called Wevo. So I came across this like tool just the other day and I thought it was pretty useful just to kind of get a quick insight into users' minds. All you have to do is, either add your website or like a screenshot or something for your website, and then let AI run it for like a minute or so. It's gonna first create a persona of like, what user persona AI thinks this website is built for. And I've tried this tool like a couple of times, and every single time the personas were pretty spot on. So I didn't have to change anything. I just decided to move on with the key findings. Once it's done the analysis, it's gonna tell you what does the customer feel when they see your website? What do customers think what the offer is, the value and the credibility they're getting from the website? So you can try this on your website. You can read the results. There's different tabs as well where you can navigate through to get even more insights. So if you go to sentiment, it's going to tell you what's working well on your website and what's not working well on your website. For example, for trust and credibility, we're getting some mixed signals here. For user engagement and interface design, AI thinks that most people thinks is a good one, and what is not working for the website. And there are like a couple of things which AI thinks I should improve, and it's really not clear for the website, and users probably getting confused there. And if I go to the intent, it's going to tell me what the user think the intent of this website is. So I just want to make sure that the intent I have in mind is the same intent the user has in mind. So that way, like the things I've written on the website, so that my copy and my design aligns with the value I'm providing, services I'm providing, and the brand I'm trying to establish here. And you can move on to recommendations and likewise the score of the website as well. I've tried it a few times. Every time like the score seems to be on the higher side. Maybe I'm just doing the right things, or the tool is kind of being too generous most of the time. Again, this is just AI's version of persona or role play here. It might not be accurate data, but it can still give you some insights, maybe a new line of thought, maybe some ideas you didn't think before. So we started with spying on customers by predicting where people are looking on the website. Then we dove into data and actually looked at where people are clicking, how far they're scrolling, and then how are they actually like moving their mouse across the website. And now we're looking at, once they do all the action, what are they even thinking when they do all the steps using a website? If this was useful, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're gonna be exploring more tools and use cases for marketers and digital entrepreneurs as we go along. I'll see you next time.